our project scopes currently do not really give us the budgets to go out and take like 10 people to use the application, get the feedback. I mean, of course, in a real bigger project, you would want to do a lot of iterations around usability testing and so forth. We currently have to go by educated guesses and then getting the feedback usually after it has shipped. Of course, we play with, within the company, there's people who are not involved in that project, and then we ask feedback from those. But it's not the same as going to, the random person from the street, because we're obviously too good, in a way, to use the applications because we make them. So it doesn't give you the honest feedback of people who have no clue. And that's the sad truth, really. People have no clue on how to use the applications. You're always wrong. And in a way, it's a hard thing to swallow, because you think you design the best thing ever, and then people don't know how to use it, and you think immediately that people are wrong, but it's not that way. So yeah, currently not enough user testing, and but that's not enough money.
Because the picture, is that when you make a new idea, then you launch it, and you need your own interest from the customer, because this is something interesting. But if you lose that opportunity, they get offended or they get disappointed. Then the next time you propose something, there are so many other similar applications that you lose the interest in the customer. They skip it.
Yes.
So my point is, spend enough time in the beginning to you have the good idea, but also to export to make it interesting since the beginning, without this disappointment, without being disappointed.
So you're saying that the first release should be very good. So
at least get the focus. Then can be expanded and maybe.
That's true. That's true. And that's something that, of course, we tell our customers that we probably shouldn't make this huge service at one time, because unless you test it out, because it can be totally wrong and people won't like it. People won't use it. So I mean, you save a lot of money and development time if you just do it in iterations. Yes.
Yeah, have you gained some insights on popularity, especially if we say that UX is the key factor that makes some app popular? Do you think it's just random luck that some apps become very viral or very popular, or is there some science behind it?
Well, there's like two things, and one I don't understand, and the other one I kind of do. If you look at the applications that actually make money on the App Store at the moment, I don't understand those applications at all, because 90% of them, of those are like your pet zoo. They have like dogs, and then actually it's a free application, and then you make money out of microtransactions, and it's something that personally I would never pay for, and I would never play. There's two dogs, let's mate, and then get like a little dog. But that's what actually makes money at the moment on the App Store. Then there's the applications that are popular, and they too do have a logic to them. I mean, it's usually, if you look at games, because games are where I sort of look at most of the time, is one finger and one touch, and that's the game mechanic, and then it's good. It's usually the problem is with the iPhone platform. They were like, yeah, this is multi-touch and everything. You can do like explode the universe, and in the end, the applications that do good are the simplest freaking things. Is you play them on a bus or whatever. So that's just simple.
I've been often thinking about these, question: how do you design a poking machine? I don't know what you call them, slot machines, like gambling things. People just keep pressing them, and what makes it addictive? What is actually the embedded user experience? What makes Farmville or Angry Birds so popular? Is it all these kind of physics?
Well, the Aalto burst is kind of like your average physics-based puzzle on the iPhone, really. I mean, there's a ton of those games that are very popular, very similar to Angry Birds. The only thing that makes Angry Birds very special is that the birds are funny and the pigs are more funny, and that the blackbird is awesome. So it's just the physics-based games. They feel so good on the iPhone. I don't know why. And when you can actually sort of move things around, because that was like the platform that brought the physics-based games to masses. Because they didn't. I mean, people knew like crayon physics before that, but on the iPhone, that was when it sort of exploded. And I think that's just people want to have a physical experience at their fingertips, really.
You see between Android and iPhone, so a very similar platform.
Yes.
Actually, they are copied each other. Actually,
Yeah.
Android tend to be like Apple product. But the idea to develop applications, to see some of these platform more suitable for some sort of application instead of others.
Yeah.
Like let's say Android more business application, iPhone more game style, because there is then also the Flash and Java thing that is making
That's true.
the decision.
So, I mean, which platform would you choose for which kind of applications? Well, for games, I would still go with iPhone because of the money that it actually is there and people are buying. I don't know how the situation currently is with Android, but I don't think it's that big because it's easier to. Well, the Android is open, and that's kind of the problem. If you want to make a service that goes just with the numbers, maybe I would go with Android. I don't know what I would do with the Android, but that's just because I'm the iOS guy. There's of course things that aren't possible on the iPhone, and those have to be on the Android. But that's the sandbox that you get to play in Steve Jobs' yard. So it's small, but it's a cozy sandbox on designs. So there's of course a couple of different ways that we do that. So an important thing, of course, is the reviews and so forth. But what is kind of easier to react to is just pure numbers. So all the applications these days have analytics in them, so we see where people spend their time, where they fall off. So if there's like 3 steps to a registration, then we see that, okay, 50% of them actually drop at the 2nd step, so there's something wrong with that. Just, getting a lot of money and just going with it. I mean, it can be a good experience, of course. But I don't know, because the failure rate is high. And with our tech company, the failure rate may be the same, but during the run, we're actually making something and not losing a lot of investor money. And our CEO has a comment on that.
Yeah, and adding that, basically, if I would be seeking money at the moment, I would be basically focusing on 2 things. First of all, get the team correct. And team, I mean, start with the UX, start with the design, and ensure that the people around you, at least one of them, has been doing something before and has a name. That's the key.
And have tech in the house.
Yeah,
that's one thing, because yes, there's companies that don't. And I mean, I would never invest in a company that buys the tech from us, because we are fickle. We can always quadruple our prices for you.
Yourself as a design agency, or a startup company who starts all these projects and you make money from these projects. Which one do you think is a more viable model? Because there are all these like labs, they program things for other company, other startups. They kind of keep it going, and there's the success rate and the failure rate and all that going on.
Our business model is pretty sustainable at the moment, and I mean, we're feeding off of the hype, of course. But we are not sort of betting on the hype, because we are not. I mean, if the bubble bursts and there's no business in this, I mean, we just close doors and we made profit before that. But there's companies that haven't, so I don't know how you want to hedge your bets. But it's a difficult thing. I wouldn't totally, recommend jumping into just getting a lot of money and just going with it.
A big applause. Thank you very much, Elias, for the discussion.